Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Brent. In today's video, I'm gonna be telling you guys how you could still build your dream life even if you work a 9 to 5. I see a lot of people use the excuse of having a 9 to 5 job or regular job for the reason why they can't build a dream physique, why they can't build that opportunity to make more money, why they can't date the girls they want, they can't do certain things. And I'm here to tell you that that's all cap. You wanna know why? Because I built my dream life while I was working a 9 to 5 job and going to school, and I was still able to find a way to make more money, start up my social media business, make money through there, as well as be able to date beautiful girls, get a girlfriend, and pretty much have a great life. And I'm telling you right now that it's 100% possible, and I'm gonna break it down for you guys in this video. First thing you guys need to understand is you need to get rid of your excuse mentality, and this is something that I had to get rid of for myself too. The thing with me is I'd always tell myself things like, oh, you do not have any time after work, bro. After work, you're supposed to just get home and relax. You know, you shouldn't be hitting the gym. You shouldn't be trying to better yourself. You shouldn't be trying to make that content. You shouldn't be trying to start that business. And that shit's all fucking cap. Because in that same time where I was doing all that shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing, like watching TV, beating my fucking dick, fucking hanging out with the boys, you feel me, doing useless things, trying to go on two-mans with women, I could have been using that time to better my life. I could have been going to the gym. I could have been trying to make content. I could have been doing so much shit in that time, but instead, I was doing a bunch of dumb shit, bro. And that stuff was holding me back. And in the end, I ended up as the guy who was depressed with my life. I'm not gonna lie, I was depressed. I didn't like how my life was going, bro, because I felt like I was more than what I was. You know, I was in school, yes. I was working towards something in school, yeah. I had a job, yeah, but was I making that much money? No, I was making like $800 every paycheck, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Fucking $16 an hour, bruh. That's not what I wanted. I knew I was destined for more, but I wasn't doing anything what I needed to do to get to where I needed to be. You feel me? I should have been putting in more work. So I had to realize I had to remove excuses from it. It's like, okay, I'm over here coming home from work, sleeping, watching TV, doing that shit. Nah, I want the dream body. I need to be hitting the gym after work. You know, and so my schedule, it consisted of me pretty much after work. I would go to work, or I'd sometimes go to school, then work. Then I'd come home, maybe take a 30-minute nap. That was like my power nap. Then I get straight to it. I'm either making content or I'm hitting the gym, then making content. And then after that, I would still have homework to do. So job wasn't finished, going to sleep and repeating the process the next day. And I was making content on this, and this is the time that I blew up on TikTok. I was making content every single day, posting 3 times on TikTok every single day, finding time to post on YouTube too. So I don't want to hear any excuses. If a motherfucker like me built his 6-figure social media brand, personal brand, posting 3 times a day after working a job, working a draining job, dealing with people all day, then fucking going to class, taking 4 classes, bro, for a cybersecurity major, right? Then I'm hitting the gym, trying to get buffed and swole, have a nice physique. And then I'm making content. And I built a 6-figure personal brand in a fucking year. When you're telling me you can't, bro, that's a bunch of cap, bro. That's a bunch of cap. It's a bunch of cope. So guys, you need to get rid of that excuse mentality and start thinking like, okay, how can I maximize my time more and take advantage of the time that I have instead of just making excuses for myself saying I can't do something and build my dream life. The second thing I'm gonna tell you guys is you wanna start focusing on these 4 areas of your life. I put up 5, but 4 areas of your life. And that's going to be your physique, getting your money up, building your personal brand or business, and then women. Those 4 things after your 9 to 5 is gonna be what makes you have the dream life that you always wanted. So you guys need to find the time to fit these things, these activities into your life. So the gym, y'all. For me, I was undisciplined as fuck when it came to the gym at first. I wasn't going to the gym when I needed to because I'd be tired from work or school. But I'm like, you know what? Instead of going straight home after work, I'm going straight to the gym because I'm still in that mode where it's like, okay, I gotta work. You know, when you go straight home after work, you already get in that like headspace where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go relax, I'm gonna go watch TV, I'm gonna drink the alcohol, I'm gonna sleep, you know. But when you go to the gym and then go home, it's way better for you because it's telling your brains like, all right, there's still work to be done. I gotta hit the gym session, then I get to reward myself by going home. So guys, I started to prioritize going to the gym right after work until I got to the point where it became disciplined, where it's like, okay, I can go home, change, and go to the gym. There was none of that shit. I was carrying my gym clothes in my bag and then I'd go straight fucking to the straight after work. I'd go to the gym, bro. I was not playing around. Even when I didn't have a car, when I was grinding to get my car, bro, it was bad. I literally would get an Uber to work, and then I'd maximize my money. I'm like, all right, I'm not trying to spend too much money on Ubers. So from work, I'd walk to the gym, and I'd walk to the gym, and then I'd hit the gym, and then I'd Uber home. Or I would Uber to the gym right after work, and then I'd walk home, get my steps in. Either way, bro, I'm trying to maximize myself and make sure that I'm not finding any excuse for myself not to hit the gym. I could have been like, oh, I don't have a car, I can't hit the gym. But nah, I'm making a fucking way, y'all. That's the thing. You guys have to understand, you need to make a way for yourself. You need to give yourself no room to make excuses, like I said, and to make shit happen. So if you notice that you're tired after work, force yourself. I'm not going home till I fucking go to the gym. Or even then, you hit the gym in the morning before work. So wake up an hour earlier before work. Stop sleeping in right before your shift, and then you go to work. No, you wake up an hour 30 minutes before work. You go hit the gym. Your workout doesn't have to be anything too crazy, and then you go to work. And this is gonna get that out the way. So after work, you can really put some time towards the other things we're going to talk about. The next thing is money. Now listen, you do have a job, but at the same time, you need to build something outside of your job that's yours. I know you don't want to work that damn job for the rest of your life. And here's the thing. I personally think 9-to-5s are low-key a scam. And they don't tell people this, but I personally think it's fucked that you can work at a place for 10 years, and in those 10 years, you get a raise of $10, $20, but you could spend, a few hours out of your week to build something for yourself, and you never know, you could build something huge. It could be $1 million business. The cap is endless. With a job, you're capped out. So you guys need to be putting time into something outside your job, learning a skill. Like, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be social media. I used to cut hair outside of work, y'all. I used to cut hair. That was a skill that I used that I could have actually took it to the moon. I could have made a business out of that. I could have been in a barbershop, but that's not something I wanted to pursue. That wasn't my passion. I like cutting hair, but it's not what I wanted to do. You guys need to just find a skill that you can do outside of work and start putting time towards it. So the days that you're off of work, especially, these are going to be the most important days, y'all. So when on these days, you're going to really want to maximize. It's like, all right, if I have a side hustle I like to do, or I like to make more money with, or I want to get better at, you're going to use these days and dedicate at least 4 hours to learning this skill or getting better at the skill and putting yourself out there. By you doing this, you telling me that every week you put 4 to 8 hours a week towards learning a skill or building your personal brand, posting on social media, or even time outside of work. Let's say you go to work and then you go to the gym, and then you still work on your personal brand, and you still work on another skill that you're trying to do. You tell me you do that shit, that's like adds up 12 hours a week. Let's do the math. 12 times 4 is 44 hours a month. 44 times 12 is 528 hours a year, and that's at the low end pretty much. You're telling me you put in 500 hours towards learning something or bettering yourself in a skill that can make you money, that by the end of the year you're not going to be making some money, bro? Like, come on, you cannot sit up here and tell me that. That's why I hate when people are like, oh, there's no way to get rich, bro. You're like, I'm stuck. No, there's always a way. It's just you don't want to sacrifice the club. You don't want to sacrifice the drinking. You don't want to sacrifice watching the TV, you feel what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm not one of those people who's going to tell you, oh, you can't have any free time for yourself. But you guys will take that and you'll run with it, and you'll just spend your whole weekend fucking watching porn, watching TV, watching movies, instead of putting some time into your craft, y'all. So guys, you need to be scheduling out some time outside of your job. Whenever you guys are off, you guys work 40 hours a week. Maybe some of y'all work 60, 80 hours a week. But I think in a week you guys have, let me check. You guys have 168 hours in a week. So if you guys work 60 hours, we're minus 60, and then you sleep, let's say you sleep 52 hours, minus 50, you sleep like 56 hours, so minus that, you have 52 hours left in your week, y'all. You have 52 hours to make something of yourself. And of course, you're gonna eat. Of course, you gotta include transformation or transportation, you feel me? But you still have time, and that's the point I'm trying to get through to y'all. So schedule out some time, dedicated time, where you can put towards your passion, put towards something that's gonna make you more money, building your personal brand, your social media presence, so you can start bettering your life. And that's what I did. I personally, like I said, I made time to post videos. I made time to cut hair, and that was another thing I was doing. I was cutting hair while posting videos too, y'all. I was doing all this shit, trying to make some extra money cutting hair, posting videos, working my job, and doing school, and I found a way to do it. There is no excuse for you, my guy. There's no excuse. And I gotta remind myself of that too sometimes, because sometimes when I catch myself drifting, I'm like, yo, I did all of this. I need to be fucking locked in, because The brand that did all of this shit, that built his fucking empire or built his social media while doing all of this, it's the same brand. I just need to tap into that, y'all. So you just need to know it's possible, and you need, like I said, you need to start utilizing the time you have from work to build something for yourself. Another thing is women. And now listen, a lot of you guys will neglect yourself when you get a job, and this goes along with like hitting the gym and stuff. Now, it's not just the gym, it's the grooming. So you need to schedule a time outside of work to take care of yourself. Go get your hair cut. Yo, go get, some of y'all be looking like you left the house and you look homeless, bro. You look homeless, okay? Go get a haircut, okay? Go get your nails done, you know? I'm not saying you need to get your nails done all the time, but some of y'all have crust on your nails. Prioritize a skincare routine. Give yourself 20 minutes in the morning just to do a simple skincare routine so your skin could look nice, bro. Look like you take care of yourself. You know, put some money and time into buying some better clothes for yourself, which I do help guys with. You know, if you guys are interested, click the link down below. Book a call, see if it's a good fit. You know, make yourself into a presentable, good-looking, confident guy. But anyways, you know, spend some time bettering yourself and looking good, because a lot of guys will get this good, hot, six-figure paying job, right? But you neglect yourself in the process, and you still end up unhappy and unfulfilled because, like, damn, I have money, but like I'm still unattracted to women. Girls don't like me. I'm a fat fucking slob. You feel me? Sorry about the cussing. I'm trying to not cuss as much, but you guys can't have your cake and eat it too. You guys want these girls to look good, but you don't want to put in the time to look good yourself. So even though you have this job, you need to find time to hit the gym. You need to prioritize your grooming. You need to get a skincare routine. You need to pay attention to your looks. You need to start dressing better. You still need to find time to go out sometimes, maybe take some pictures for the gram so you don't look like a fucking loser. Oh my goodness, I'm cussing again, but you get what I'm saying, bro. I don't want to be cussing on these videos like that, but you guys are looking like a loser on Instagram, looking like you have no life, because some of y'all do, and I'm not saying you gotta fake a lifestyle, but go out once in a while and take some pictures. I know y'all go out anyways. You might as well look nice, dress nice, and get some pictures. So when a girl, like, I'm gonna tell you a secret, a girl's gonna look at your Instagram before she even thinks about messing with you, and she sees that you have some decent pictures on there, she might give you a shot. But she sees that you're a loser, she's not gonna give you no shot. So yeah, you guys need to start prioritizing your looks. You need to put time into yourself, and it's possible. It's not impossible, because along this same timeline, I was one of those people who thought that, oh, I could have used this time to better myself and to be more attractive. But then I realized, it's like, if I'm gonna get anywhere in this world, if I'm gonna get the girls I want, opportunities I want, then I'll become more attractive. And lo and behold, you'll notice that life becomes easier for you when you do become attractive. So there's really no point for you not to put in time towards that part of your life, y'all. It is very important that you do. So yes, find time, find a skincare routine, get a haircut at least once every 2 weeks. Some of y'all be going months without haircuts. We're not doing that over here. Invest in a good cologne, invest in your fashion sense, and like I said, invest in getting some good pictures, because you could take pictures a few times a year, and those pictures will do you good for a long period of time, y'all. So make sure you're doing that. So like I said, you can have your dream life. You can have that pretty girl. You can have the money. You can build a life that's free. You don't have to worry about working your 9-to-5 fucking job and you know, being able to only take a vacation once or twice a year. You can start building that while you're at that job, so that by the next few years you have your dream life. You have that girl, you have the money, you have the confidence, you look good, you're jacked, and you can have all of that while you're building yourself up. And the last thing I'm gonna say is you need discipline, y'all. The reason why is because if you don't have discipline, you're not gonna hold yourself accountable to these things, yo. So like, when I was going through this phase of my life, when I was trying to build myself up, going through school, going through my 9-to-5, all of that, bro, the number one thing that helped me was discipline, bro. There was times where I'd link up with my girlfriend now. I'd link up with her at night, and you know, I'd be there till like 3 a.m., bro. But I knew I had to get a video out. I'm like, fudge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get home immediately so I can get these videos out, you feel me? Or get these videos recorded so I can get them out. And I'm getting home at 3 a.m. and I'm recording these videos because I'm telling myself I have to get it done. There's no excuse. I have to make it happen. So you guys need to have the same discipline. I'm telling myself I need to hit the gym. I don't care how I feel. There'll be sometimes I go home, I take my little 20-30 minute power nap. I want to go right back to sleep. No, you're not going right back to sleep, my guy. I was going to the gym, right? I ain't care. And matter of fact, when I did that, I actually felt better when I was doing that shit, holding myself accountable, bro. Because when I was holding myself accountable, it's showing me like, okay, even though I didn't feel like doing it, I still did it anyway because I'm going to reap the benefits of it. And lo and behold, I did. A lot of you guys only do things when you feel like it. But instead, you need to be disciplined enough to do it when you don't feel like it. Because you can love something and still not feel like doing it every single day. But if you learn how to do it when you don't feel like doing it, and knowing that, look, I don't feel like doing this right now, but it's the only way that I'm gonna get to where I want to be, then you're gonna be so much ahead. You're gonna be so much more ahead than the motherfucker that just sits and does nothing with his life. So I recommend you guys have some non-negotiables, whether it's hitting the gym, whether it's I gotta get a video out, whether it's I gotta put this amount of time towards learning the skill, whether it's, you know, whatever you have that you need to accomplish. You need to have a non-negotiable for yourself that you gotta hold yourself accountable to every single day. And this is why I pretty much help guys do it, because a lot of guys are not gonna do this shit on their own. They don't have anybody to hold their hand, and I will guide you through it. I will hold your hand. I will hold you accountable if you are ready for it. And I'm only taking serious guys. So click the link down below, like I said, and book a call. See if it's a good fit to work with me to help you make the best of your life and improve yourself. So y'all, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It's your boy Brant, and I'm out, man.